All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our Tuesday night teen Zooms. I am Noelle Cruz, Presidential Diamond with It Works Global, and I haven't seen you guys in a few weeks, so I'm super excited to see your faces tonight. And I am very, very excited to bring you a special guest tonight. And I was chatting with one of my girlfriends earlier, and I've known her for quite a long time. And she has watched me grow my business over the years and has definitely an interesting take on what we do as network marketers and just who we are as individual salespeople and individual people on a daily basis. And so I think that you guys are going to get a ton of value out of this. So I definitely, if you don't have one already, grab a pen and a piece of paper, get ready to take a ton of notes, and get ready to ask questions because this is going to be interactive. And we want to know what your struggles are, you know, where you guys have questions, and we want to answer them for you. So I want to introduce you to my girlfriend, Lannette Bickel. She is a professional content creator and social media marketer, and currently she's running 27 professional business accounts for top executives, CEOs, real estate firms, etc. And she's very, very good at what she does. So I'm going to just let her introduce herself a little bit more. Hey girl, how are you?
I'm so good. It's such an honor to be here for everybody, you guys. I have known Noelle for a long, long time. And we have created some great content. If you follow Noelle on her personal page, you probably see a lot of stunning photos and some great stuff. And we've worked together to help create that. And we had some fun. We did a 2-day photo shoot, and we had a lot of fun with that and creating a good content. And so this is a very transparent, easygoing, laid back, because there's so much information, and I feel like we just need a small space to start so we can understand it. And so this is very casual. It's been a minute, Noelle, since I've been on a Zoom, so if there's questions and stuff like that, you guys, please feel free to ask, because this is very, very casual. I have notes that I took on my phone, and I don't know where to start.
This is one thing that I was talking to you a little bit about earlier, and maybe we can just jump off right here. So one of the things that I was mentioning to you is that when people get started in a business like It Works, or in any business at all, they almost lose who they are as an individual, and they don't know what to do from that point on. And I know that when I first got started, I don't know that I necessarily knew who I was. And that could be part of the problem why I had struggles really marketing myself on social media, because I really didn't know who I was. But let's just kind of start there.
Okay. So Noelle brings a very valid point. Her and I had a very long conversation about this. And so tonight's Zoom topics are going to be kind of a bridge between social media as well as attraction marketing. I'm going to give you some great examples, you guys, and Noelle is one of them. Noelle is a fearless leader. And the one thing that I love about her social media and the way that she does her attraction marketing is that she is constantly showing people the freedoms that she has been blessed with, because she took an opportunity and then chose to work that opportunity. And the thing with attraction marketing is, how can you get information? And so I hope you guys brought pens or papers, or maybe Noelle is recording this, but I'm going to break it down into 6 simple steps. And when I work with customers, the one thing that we always try to identify is, how can we make more money? Because that's essentially what we want to do. And sometimes what happens in network marketing and in a business or a position, we get so excited about our new position, which is exactly what you want to be doing because you want to be passionate about it. We forget to be ourselves, because then we turn into this, I've got a product, can you buy, and let me sell, and can you buy, and can I sell? And that sometimes can turn some people off, and you might get some quick turnover of business, those people that are going to support you. But our goal tonight is to teach you how to have that longevity, how to build a relationship. When I work with my clients, I'm very straightforward, so here we go. I try to teach my customers that in any type of business and any type of marketing, whether it's social media, if it's face-to-face, if it's, through any type of like emails and things of that nature, you want to think of it very simply. There's 3 types of relationships, and I want you to kind of go here. You want to think about your relationship as either a one-night stand, dating, or marriage. And I say those things, and people are taken back by that because they're like, I don't understand. So you can do a one and done, and they may or may not use you again. You can do kind of a half in, out, kind of follow up with them. They bought, and then you're mad when they didn't continue to buy, but you didn't really have a relationship with them. So it's kind of like you were dating, but you weren't really communicating really well. Or you can have a marriage. And the one thing that I love about a marriage is when there's something that goes wrong. Or, for example, they don't like the way the wraps are going. They didn't see the results that they wanted to see. They might have only tried 1. And for me, when I tried those wraps, it took me 4. So it took me the whole treatment to really see the difference. And what happens is when you have that marriage, a relation, aka your customers, distributors, when something goes haywire, they don't walk away like they would in a one-night stand and find another person that they might eventually date then marry. So does that make sense?
Yeah, I think that that's really good. And I think that because we are constantly looking to recruit and bring in new blood, new customers, new distributors, we might not have that commitment level, like you say, that we, should have. It's like a marriage to our customers, which I think is really just an interesting concept.
Yes. And so I teach all of my customer this. And the reason that I do that is because in your position here as an It Works distributor, one thing that I would recommend to you is find one product that you love and fall in love with it and talk about that product. And then ask everyone to try that product as a product tester. For example, it might be a sample of your keto coffee. I know Noelle just sent out a bunch of those. Or it might be your hydrates. It might be, you guys have so many samples now, it might be greens. And let those customers feel, see, taste, but you fall in love with it because then you can give specific examples of, well, I gave Noelle some. And then she gave her children some, and her children loved it, and they didn't even know that they were drinking healthy stuff in a cup. They thought it was chocolate milk. So when you have one product, you can constantly keep talking about it. And I do have to side note, we have a new puppy, and they're rambunctious right now. So she might start barking, so I apologize for that. So she doesn't understand it's quiet time here in the household. So, but with network marketing, one thing that's really important, you guys, is it involves giving value and offering free content to pull prospective leads into your company, okay? So one thing that you want to do, and the big part of the equation here that a lot of people might miss, is the idea is not to bang on about your merchandise or your product or whatever it is you're offering to them, whether it's an opportunity to be, the next Noelle Cruz, or whether it's the opportunity to really take care of some health things on there. You want to grab people's attention with your marketing. But you want to do that on an unconscious level, so they're constantly thinking about it. And it's like, I'm very intrigued with what they have. I need to try it. But you want to do it so they don't really know they've been converted into being really interested in what you have. And so I'm going to use your page for an example, Noelle, because you talk a lot about your cruise kids, like your cruise adventures. And like you were just in Denver, Colorado. You talk about how you love that you're able to pick up. I know that you had to go attend a funeral in Florida. So you talked about how you love that you didn't have to ask for time off, and you remember when you did. And the thing that she does there, you guys, is she talks about emotions that other individuals like myself or any of you that have come on board say, you know what, I've been there. I've struggled. I couldn't afford daycare. I didn't want to not miss a funeral, but I couldn't afford, or my company wouldn't let me off. And you can have those identifiers. And so again, she's talking about the opportunity, the product, how it's given her this, but at no point in that conversation has she said, buy my wraps or become a distributor or buy my greens. So she's not selling. What she's showing people is based on one decision to say yes, it has allowed her to have these things that a lot of people want to have. Now, some people can misconstrue this for bragging, so it's really important. It's all about how you do that. Noelle and I were talking about her when she first started, and it's funny, when any of us started in this business, I think we just get so excited. We just want to post products. And so if you can finesse a way to do that. Now, one thing that I know that Noelle said that she does, and maybe you can talk about this too, Noelle, is your host to post. And I love this concept that you do, because it really is giving that network referral. This is a friend. However, the caveat to that, and I'm going to have Noelle explain this, is with doing that, you want to make sure that you're friends with people, because they're going to then say, I would love to do a favor for you. Yeah, absolutely. You can post that on my page. So let's talk about the host to post a little bit, Noelle. So does everybody know what that is and how it works and why it's so beneficial?
Yeah, everybody knows what host to post is, and if you guys don't, you're probably brand new. But basically, it's a referral system where you're going to ask your friends to do a favor for you. Similar to if you just opened a new restaurant, you would go give out a bunch of coupons, like half-off coupons, buy one, get one free coupons to your restaurant. You would ask your friends to pass those out for you and do that word of mouth referral. Host to post is the same thing. You're going to ask your friends to post something on their wall and tag you in it for referrals to see if any of their network is interested in what you have. And one of the things that really just, it blows my mind, Lannette, is that you are so good. Like you have 1,000 best friends, and you're one of those people that, we hear about, like John Wooden, who knows everybody's name and everybody has a great relationship with them and everybody wants to be with them all the time and everybody thinks that they're their best friend because of the way that you value people and the way that you treat people. And that goes to every single one of your clients. And you have a very extensive client list. And so I just think it's interesting that we were kind of talking, because I was talking to you about, how do you do this, first of all? How do you become that person? But then how can we bring that back and utilize that when doing online marketing, doing the host to post and such?
Perfect. So basically, one of the tricks, and I'll give you some of my secrets, it's so simple, you all can do it. It is so simple. The first thing you have to do is be you. You have to be authentic. And people are going to trust you in your journey, regardless of where you are. So it's so important that you keep that authenticity. I know that we all want to be as cool as Noelle. We want to be where she is, and you're going to get there, because under her leadership, there's just no other way. I mean, she's driven to make you all succeed. So it's so important that you understand it's okay to be where you are on this journey. But what you have to understand is you have to give before you take. And that doesn't necessarily mean free products. And sometimes you might be in an opportunity where you might be able to provide a sample to someone. You might be able to give them a thing of greens or a hydrate, and it's not going to compromise, your financial being. But if you can't, that's okay too. Go to your upline. They might be able to help you in that situation. But what you want to do is you want to put things out there into that marketplace so people can really be attracted to what it is. And it's knowledge, you guys. It's a lot of knowledge. People want knowledge. They crave information. They want to know that they're making a wise choice. They want to trust that they can do business with you and it's going to be the right choice. Because we hear of all of the different products, all of the different tools, things that we can use, yet we don't understand. And the funny thing is, in my business, I know Noelle has said that I work for some big companies, and I do. When I walk in, they're like, what's your website? I'm like, I don't have one. And they're like, well, what do you do? And I'm like, this is what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to assess what you have, what you're doing, and figure out a way that we can take your product. Let me understand what it is that's your product. Let me think about this. Let me work with you, and let's go out and get the interaction, because that's where a lot of things. So I'm going to give you guys a little workflow chart that I give to all of my customers, because I think it's really important. And this is all how it goes. It's really a flow. So the first step is you can use your traffic, however you get that. Is Facebook the way that you guys normally do it, Noelle, or do people use Instagram as well, or are they using blogs? I mean, blogs are really big. If you're not blogging, I highly recommend blogging. there's so much information you can give, and it's a place that they can constantly go back to. But that might be something we could talk about down the road, because it's not hard to blog, really. I thought it was.
Facebook and Instagram are our primary platforms.
Okay. So then you want to be personal, and you want to capture information. I think it's really important. Noelle said that you guys have a new app called Connect. If you're not utilizing that, I would use that. I use a platform that's called HubSpot. Some of you may or may not have heard of it. I love HubSpot because it allows me to be a virtual assistant. I can talk into it after I've gotten off of a phone call. I can keep notes in there. I can schedule appointments or follow-ups to know that I have to send a thank you card, or I have to follow back up with them because they need information. So I would say find a way that you can utilize any type of program, piece of paper that works for you, a system, if you will, and I believe It Works has created one for you to make your life easy with customers. And maybe it's new, or maybe you've been around as long as Noelle has, but they give you content that you can put out there. And then you want to give them information that's valuable. And when I say give them information, I want you to think of it this way. I don't want it to be a billboard. I don't want it to be a let's get a thumbs up reaction. I want the reaction of, wow, that's great information. Now, one thing that I do know about Facebook is that the direction that Facebook is going to be lives. They've been there for a long time, but is going to be your stories. Now, Noelle knows this, and if you all watch Noelle, she's been doing story after story after story. Sometimes I get on there and I'm like, she's got 30 stories, and I got to watch it because it's, our community is going to be changing. And I love this because I'm constantly learning about Facebook, and I sit with their beta testing team. So utilize your stories, because we're going to be a swipe left and right community versus a scrolling community. Think also what you're putting out there. Is it long? Is it cumbersome? Because you lost me if it's more than 2 lines. I don't want to read it. I don't want to read it unless it's a heart-wrenching, good tutorial and I see that it's a value. But that picture has to match the emotion, so I want to read what you have. So think about content when you're putting it out there. So that's really important. And you want something that you can engage. And here's one thing that's really important too. I'm going to talk a little bit about social media, because this is a huge factor in where you guys get a lot of your business, is how are you interacting? Think about this. There is nothing more that frustrates me than the thumbs up, to the point where some of my customers actually buy me sticky notes of the Facebook thumbs up because they know I don't use it. The reason why is I want you to think of social media as a place that you have your friends. Imagine if you had invited 10 people into your home, and you were all sitting around a bonfire, and you were going to have some wine, and you were going to drink some drinks. And someone says, how was your day today, Lannette? And I went, and they said, is it good? And I went, and then they say, well, did you have a really good day? And I'll go, what did I give them of value? Why did that make a difference in their life? How do we get to go through and look at someone's, scroll Facebook and then just think that the only thing that they can do is give emojis? Here's an interesting fact about Facebook. They actually changed it from the left side to the right side because they didn't want it to be the most important thing. You will get more interaction, more engagement when you comment, and it also will bring those people back into your algorithm. So there's really a nice caveat. One thing that's really going to work that's beneficial for you is when you see something that you feel authentic about commenting on. For example, Noelle, when her daughter was having issues, take that conversation offline and let Facebook see that your friends outside of, I'm really sorry, I knew this would happen, but that your friends outside of just the scrolling newsfeed, because a lot of times we just friend people, especially in the network community. One thing that Facebook does do is they have people scroll for certain words. So make sure if you're posting a post or you're getting good content from amazing leadership, make sure you retype it out. You don't just copy and paste it, and or you change some words, because they will block that from being seen. So there's a couple tips. Now,
question, can I just pause you for a second? Because I was thinking about this and I forgot to ask you about it earlier. You were using my page as an example of how I share, how I use attraction marketing to let people into my life. Now, I'm sure that there's a ton of people on here who are like, well, that's nice for her, but I haven't had the success yet. I haven't been able to make those transitions because I'm not there yet. what would be your recommendation for how they can be posting still using attraction marketing?
Yeah, so that's a great question, Noelle. So in a situation like that, one thing that I think that always is really beneficial, people identify with you. They identify with situations. They identify with so many different things. So for example, I've just joined. I want to be in the position where Noelle is. I get to then say, I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. I came from a broken family. My mom abandoned me. I never felt like I was good enough. And I met this girl, Noelle. I saw her successes. I've watched her journey. And I believe that I have it in me to do that. And I'm really excited about this next adventure. Stay tuned and just watch as I get to be exactly who God created me to be. And that statement is the truth. Like, nothing about that statement was dishonest, because that's who I am and that's who I wanted to be. And I never felt good enough, but I made a choice and I stood behind that. And you're going to get a lot of people that give you flack, because the industry sometimes does, in fact, have a negative connotation. But I'm going to tell you something. I have been in network marketing, and it allowed me to take everything that's in my head and create a business with those financial returns for being good to people. So there is a lot. There's no glass ceiling, you guys. You can make this business whatever you want it to be. And that's the great thing about network marketing, because all you're doing is figuring out what they have a need for and how you can get them there. I have a great example. So Noelle came and stayed with me a few weeks ago, and we were talking with one of my friends, and she was going on about some issues that she was having. And Noelle casually said, "Oh my gosh, did you tell her about this product?" And it was like, almost like it was a hidden secret. And I was like, she's like, "Girl, you've got to tell her about this." And I was like, "I know." All of a sudden, this girl needed to have 5 bottles of it, and she had to tell all of her friends, because we just let out the secret about these wraps or the fat fighters. I don't remember what it was, but we were sitting out on my back patio. And so you can use things just like that in those moments where you can almost not go into like, this is what I see all the time. "Oh my gosh, I work for It Works. I'm an It Works rep, and I have these things, and do you want to buy from me? And you can be a loyal customer. And if you do this, this, and this, and this, this, and this." And it's like, wait a minute, who are you? Like, you are not the person that I sat here now. So be who you are, because that is what people are attracted to. It's when we become this psychotic, like, salesperson. It's like the person that stops to sell vacuums at your door, and you're like, what? Who are you? Like, why are you in my space? So does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. That's good.
Okay. So the next phase of my flow chart, you guys, is to follow up and build a relationship through constant contact. And I don't mean constant contact as the email platform that people use, but through touching. And I always leave an open-ended question for them. So I have to go back. I always have a reason to follow up. And here's something that is so important. If you tell Noelle you're going to call her at 11, you call her at 11. If you say, "I'm going to follow up with you on Thursday," you follow up with them on Thursday, because you want to prove to them that your word is true. That's so important. But here's one thing that I do, and I find this to be very beneficial. If somebody gives me a little bit of their time, I always send them a handwritten thank you and say, "Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate that you gave that to me. I look forward to speaking with you again." Now, that might seem tedious. It might sound crazy. You might think it's crazy. But as a business owner, you guys, you can write off thank you cards. I like to try to find ones at TJ Maxx or Marshall's, because you can find like cute little Kate Spade ones or Ray and Dunn ones. And I love to just handwrite a note. Here's what's really cool. You can get a ton of information on social media and on the internet, so you can get the address. But if someone gives me 5 minutes of their time, I thank them. When I was in network marketing, I always joked about their anniversary month, like we were dating. I'm like, "Okay, we're in a relationship now, so it's our 1-month anniversary. Do you need anything from me? Can I do something better for you? Can I help you achieve your goals? Are you where you need to be?" Just leave it at that. I always gave them an annual birthday card, and I always give them a $1 scratch off. I always have them here behind me, so I can just send out a scratch off card. The fortune is in the follow-up, and unfortunately, we don't use that because we don't think there's any benefit in it, because we feel if they tell us no, then it must be no forever. A lot of times, you guys, it's KNOW. They don't know enough about it to say yes. They've seen it, they've heard it. So take the time to get to know them. Don't just stalk them on Facebook, like engage them. Ask them how they're doing. If you have an opportunity that you can, and sometimes these are kind of manipulated. You see something, you're like, ooh, I like that subject. I love dogs. I'm a boxer lover. So if somebody has like dog information or something like that, I'll send them something. Or if you see a good recipe, I'm going to be like, girl, have you ever tried this? Because this looks pretty difficult for me. Like, have you really made it? And did it turn out that good? It's amazing the conversations that will come over little things that they post. And if you take the time to stalk or watch their pages, if you will, you can learn a lot about people. If you were to go to my Facebook page, you're going to know that I love boxers. I love sunsets. I love travel. Yeah, and I love my friends. I love boats. I love to go to the lake on the weekends. But the last thing on the chart, you guys, is to provide them value. You want to give them tangible things now. You want to give them value. You want to give them content. The way that Noelle does that, so that you will have an understanding of how I'm bringing this to them. About a month ago, if you all were watching, her and Dusty sat down and just had real talk in the kitchen about keto. They talked about how when they went keto, how hard it was for them. The sugar detoxing, then the implementing of it, and then the falling off the wagon to trying again. But they broke it down to the simplicity. Was it about selling them the keto products? Absolutely. But they brought it back and made it about themselves and the experience they went through. That was valuable for people because then they were able to understand, okay, I can fail my way forward and make it to where I have to go. You want to provide that. You don't want to just be a billboard person and be like, you're injured, call this attorney, because I see 5 of them. What's going to be the standout billboard that says, yeah, I want this? No, it's the attorney that called and said, I saw that you were in an accident. My little brother had one just like it. I want to work for you because I know I can take care of you. Does that make sense?
Yes, that's very good.
So do we have any questions so far before I go into the 6 things that I do?
So we just
I
have
don't know where the questions are.
Go out there because I have a feeling this might be common. Terry says, I have a hard time doing stories because I don't take a lot of photos. What would you say to somebody who says they don't do a lot of stories?
Okay, so you don't do a lot of photos of yourself or photos in general, or do you not feel like comfortable putting yourself in a picture? Help me out with this. Let's break it down. I'm going to break this down and help you figure out a way. So where do I see the comments, Noelle? Call me a little crazy. It's been a moment.
At the very bottom, if you click chat.
Oh, I've got it.
Okay.
Look at me go. It's been a minute. Okay. So, okay, so Terry Grant, so tell me, why don't you take a lot of photos? And then tell me, do you have an Android or do you have an iPhone? Because that will help me too. It's really warm in here. I apologize. I'm getting sweatier. I'm all nervous now. I don't know which one it is. Okay, Terry, where'd you go, girl?
She's working on it.
Okay, perfect. Because I'm going to walk you through some of the best things that you can do. You don't have to be a genius. You don't have to be in a ton of photos. I would recommend that if you are someone who doesn't like to be in photos, use that as your story. That's an incredible story. You can be like, I never felt confident posting a picture of myself, but now I feel like I'm going to have a breakthrough. Or now I feel like something's changing within me because I have an opportunity to share. And I think when you share that vulnerability with people, you guys, people gravitate towards you and your comments go viral. And I'm telling you, when you get that type of commenting back and forth and that vulnerability and that realness, I'm telling you, all of a sudden your Facebook page is a place that Facebook says, whoa, there is a party. Let's go see what's happening. Unfortunately, I had a dog pass away a week ago today. And I just posted at 4 a.m. that she passed away. I wrote her a poem. It was very sad. And, you know, I had, before I even hit noon that day, nearly 200 comments. But it's interesting, all of the people now that are interacting in other things. So it's interesting, people identify with feelings, not with being sold to. Think about when you walk into a store and you're shopping retail and you walk in and all of a sudden they're like, can we help you? What do you need? What are you looking for today? And you're like, I was just stumbled in here because it was a cute boutique. I don't even know what you sell. I wasn't looking for anything. What do you need? How can I help you? Come over here. Let me show you this. Let me show you that. Let me show you this. Let me show you that. And you're like, thank you. I'll come back next week when I can casually browse and feel it out, because everybody is a little bit different. And so you want to feel your customers out. Have they done the training, Noelle, with the personalities with the red, yellow, blue, green?
Hopefully all, yes.
Okay. It's so beneficial to know who you're working with, because then you know how to really, if someone's a yellow, I know that I need to ask them to help me and I need a favor. If somebody's red, I know they want to know about their bottom line. How can they make money? Green, I am a green. Ooh, I've got to research it. I'm going to tell you no. I'm going to research it. I'm going to take my time. Oof. I'm going to know this better than you do, and I'm going to challenge you, and you're going to hate me. But when I join you, I'm going to be loyal, and I'm going to be just as good as you, and I'm going to be one of your number one money earners, because I need to know what's going on, and I'm going to make sure that I do a blue, show them where the party's at, take them to conference. Like, that's how it works. So let me go see where Terry is over here.
So Terry's unmuted. She's going to chat with us for just a second.
Yeah.
Because I'm very slow at typing.
Okay.
I'm a single older woman. My daughter is across the country, married, so I don't have kids at home to take pictures of. I don't have pets. I'm on summer break because I'm a teacher. So when I'm at school, I can't be taking photos of my students. I'm not supposed to have my phone out. So I can take photos of myself, but I don't feel that that should be constantly, because when I constantly see people's photos of themselves, they're drawing attention to them. And that me, and I don't want that. So I don't know how to share my story in a way except for maybe once or twice a day.
Okay.
So to do the constant stories, I have nothing to share.
Okay, so I've got some ideas. You got a pen and paper?
Yep.
Okay. So the first thing that I would say as a school teacher, the one thing that I would be doing is figuring out what it is that you like to do in the summertime, because you have summers off, which is amazing. And we're all jealous of that. Like, so I would be talking about summers off. With school supplies coming right now, one thing that I could think that you could do as a teacher is talk about, if you like to know these things, and I imagine you do, because if it's like a lot of other schools, supplies are really costly for parents. And sometimes that's something that has to be donated. So what I would do is, if that's something that you like to do, Terry, is maybe take the time to find out who has the best deals. Now, there are apps out there that I can share with Noelle to share with you all, because I don't know them off the top of my head, but it's a comparison app that shows you where the best deals are. And maybe you can give that value to moms, to dads, to people like that. You could maybe talk about you like to walk in the summer or go to the beach, or you could talk about like you're trying to earn money so that you can go travel to see your children across the country more often with that extra money. It's a, you know, like you could make a post, something about like, you know, gosh, I feel like I'm 16 again. Like I just saw a post the other day that cracked me up. It said, I wish I was 16 again, because $200 would be like I was rich in my bank account. So you could throw back and be like, wow, you know, like I remember in the summers I used to get a job, and now I love that I can do this over the summer because I'm helping people get healthier and fit for the new, you know, the new school season. Just different things that you can add value to, because as a teacher, we're all jealous that you have summers off. And talk about what you get to do in the summer and what it looks like to be a teacher. And I think that teachers, I am so thankful for people like you, because I don't think that teaching is an easy task. And so, you know, I would just be very vulnerable with, you know, some of your teaching or the things that your kids are excited about. And you don't have to take pictures of your kids, but maybe you can use on your phone, you guys, and I'm sure that Noelle has told you this, but Word Swag is a great thing because they provide a ton of free pictures. I believe it's like 99 cents. Maybe it's $1.99. I'm not really sure, but it's really inexpensive. An app that you can put on your phone, and you could put like school supplies, and it pulls up a bunch of pictures and it allows you to put words over top of it. So you don't have to take a picture of yourself, but you could make this beautiful picture and look like a content creator, and all you've done is work on a little app on your phone. So that would be one of my ideas for you.
One of the other things I want to mention, for anybody who's having trouble, like Terry, making stories, most of the time, you guys, your stories don't actually have you in them. If that makes sense. You can take literally a story of you, of your feet walking on, you know, when you're going on a hike. You can record yourself making dinner, making breakfast, making your keto coffee, like watching a sunset. Like, it's literally just snippets of your day. And most of the time, because you are not standing there with the phone right here recording your day, you're not actually the one in the story. You're the person telling the story, which means that you're seeing everything through, like when you look at my story, you're seeing things through my eyes. You're not seeing me. You're seeing things through my eyes. And so you don't actually have to have pictures of yourself in your story. The other thing I want to talk about is you're self-conscious about, or not self-conscious, you are concerned about taking photos of yourself because you don't want to seem boastful. Terry's very yellow, obviously. We know that from that comment, right? And we have a lot of yellows. So I know that because of that comment, there's a ton of you who are feeling the same way. But the thing you guys have to remember is that you're not posting a selfie every day. I post a selfie maybe 3 times a week. Maybe. That's probably exaggerating. But what you have to know is that if you don't show people your face, and you don't show people your home, and you don't show people your kids, and you don't show people your life, they will not trust you. They will not join you. They will not buy from you. Sharing your face with people, sharing selfies, is what allows them to have a glimpse into who you are. And if they don't know who you are, they're not going to have a relationship with you whatsoever. So it's not boastful. It's sharing a part of yourself. So you guys, if you're uncomfortable taking selfies, that needs to change now.
Here's the thing too. I see some yellow comments here too. Teachers, nurses, people that love onto us are the people that are yellows. This business is an incredible business because of all of the yellows. And I want you to know something. Yellows, let me just tell you something. Yellows are great success stories because here's the thing. When you go to help someone, they know your personality, so they know that you're reaching out to help them, and they don't see it as you're trying to sell to them. So don't give yourself the satisfaction of thinking because you're yellow, you can't do it. You're going to do it better than a lot of other people because you're not like, I've got this, I'm taking it, we're going to the top. You're like, well, yeah, I mean, you should come with me. This is great. Like, I have these great products and I would love to help you get on them so you feel better. And people are like, okay, yeah, tell me more about it. So think about that. Softer side. You keep a lot of people grounded and you keep a lot of people connected and you keep a lot of people happy. So yellows, give yourself a pat on the back because we need a lot of yellow leaders in this lifetime. So go get it because people want to help you because of the person that you are. So that's amazing. So I want to talk a little bit. I'm going to go a couple of different directions. Talk about Facebook. And straight up numbers right from Facebook. These came from their mouth. I sit there. I listen to these things. 12% of people will see your post. So think about how many friends you have and think about what you're posting, okay? The algorithm is going to pick 3 different things to post in your day. And there's some mathematics behind it, but it's a little bit crazy how it is done. So on an average, you guys, people scroll 6 times a day. And the scroll's about 40 to 50 people that they see. So the active users only see about 350. So you're never going to like and see everything that's in your feed, okay? So just because they didn't like it and interact with it doesn't mean that they didn't see it. People are always watching you. Trust and believe. Even when you think they're not, they're watching you because they want to know. People want more for their lives. Unless they're self-made millionaires or they just came from the family and they fell off that money tree. I didn't. I had to work for it. Noelle didn't. She has to work for it. So you want to make sure that you are really doing yourself a service when you're posting that one post. What is it and how can people engage on that too? So that's one thing that I try to teach people. When you're creating content, is it something people can look at and be like, I don't need to respond, that's why I get a like? Or is there something there that I can say, yeah, me too? So you kind of want to think about what could people respond to this? How could they respond to that? So take a second. One thing that's so important, and I cannot stress this enough, do not post when it's convenient for you. Think about when it's convenient for other people. Now, a great time to post is lunch. Everybody gets on their phone at lunch. But do you post after you've gotten done eating your sandwich and now you're sitting there and you've got 5 minutes before you go back? Well, no, because everybody else is getting ready to walk back into the office and they have to check themselves in the mirror and go to the bathroom. So you want to make sure that you think about when you're posting how to post. One thing I can tell you guys, and it works for every single customer, is the first thing people do when they get up in the morning, probably half of them while they're on the toilet, is be on their cell phone. So if you're up early, that is the best time to post because everybody's going to see your stuff. So I would totally recommend making sure that you do that. So yeah. I'm kind of jumping around a little bit, Noelle. I'm sorry. You know me. That's what
You have a ton of notes to share with us and a ton of lists and things. So I'm not going to answer any more questions right now until you've gotten through your content, and then we can go back.
Okay. So we're going to go back to the 6 things for attraction marketing because this is huge. I teach this to all my customers. It's really important. Make people curious. Why your company? Why your products? Why this? It's like dating. You don't want to give away the farm on the first night. You want to make people kind of be curious, like get them interested. Like that conversation out on my porch, like, what is it that Noelle is telling you about that you didn't share with me? Like, I need to know about that. It's like this hidden secret. Like, we all know about it. It works, but do you really know about what works? Because let me tell you about the cleanse over here. There's this one time I was so bloated. She told me to take this cleanse and oof, I think I lost 6 pounds in one little load. People are like, really? And I'm like, yeah, it was great. I didn't have to worry about not leaving the house. And all of a sudden they need it because they know someone. And it's a really casual conversation because then I can say, well, who do you know that needs this? Because I can tell them about it and they can get it from my girlfriend. Or, you know, like you want to be very casual about it too because that authenticity is what people really trust and believe, right? People who follow you and they see that they need something are going to be the first people to test it and share with people. So you want to make sure that's a good experience. If you say you're going to send them samples, and then follow up and be like, what did you think? And if they don't like it, it's okay. Here's the thing. Sometimes they just say that. They really did kind of like it, but now they're afraid they're going to be sold. So they're like, nah, wasn't my flavor, didn't like it. And I'm like, okay, no problem. We have 3 flavors of the greens, but I get it. If you don't like it, it's not a problem. We have like 50 products. I don't know how many products you have, Noelle, but we have like 50 products. But if you're interested down the road again, let me know. So I'm not an aggressive salesperson, but I'm really aggressive and they don't know it. So I don't know how to explain that other than I constantly follow up with them and it's in the follow-up. So here's the thing. Here's number 1. I'm going to go kind of fast on these. You want to spread knowledge. And it's always not just about your products. It's about whatever it can be. For Terry, for example, like you might share that you might know where the best deals are for, you know, school supplies because they're coming out everywhere. Actually, they have great deals at Office Depot. I was there today buying a calendar and I thought, Office Depot, I would have thought they were really expensive. So I was really excited to see they had it like dollar bins there. So that was cool. Target, you know, they have great stuff, but you want to share them. You want them to learn about you and your products because when they know you, like Noelle says, they can identify with you. They understand your story, but they understand that you understand what they need because you've paid attention. Does that make sense? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. The second thing that you want to do is you have to earn their trust. People will not do business with people that they don't trust. They will think that it's like a used car salesman, and if any of you sell cars, it is no dig against you. It's just a known thing that people say. So I'm sorry if I offended someone. Trust wins at all times, you guys. It never, ever fails. When you can square up and look someone in the eyes and say, you're right, those greens didn't work the way that we thought they would, but I think we need to add a couple of other products. And that takes you digging, researching. If you've listened to Noelle, when she's with customers, she digs deeper. She doesn't take the no for the answer. She's like, well, did you take it every day? You know, are you going to the bathroom? Like, she'll start to ask a ton of questions that really identify what they need. Customers want to buy from a brand or a seller who they believe in, that is authentic and trustworthy. So they want to know what you're telling them is going to be valid, that you're going to get the results you have. And here's one thing I can tell you about this industry. You want to underdeliver, and no, you want to overpromise and underdeliver. What's the saying that I'm trying to think of, Noelle?
You want to underpromise and overdeliver.
Exactly. So, you know, for me, when I tried the wraps for the first time, I was told not to expect anything until that fourth wrap. Most people see it on one, but the majority see it on a treatment. So I was waiting for a full treatment. So imagine if you told them you're going to have awesome results on that first one, and you have that person who didn't drink their water and they didn't keep it on for 45 minutes and they ate cheeseburgers and drank pop. Well, guess what? They're not going to get the desired results that they wanted. So now they have a bad impression. So it's really important to really sell the sizzle. The third thing is be authentic. I've said this throughout the whole presentation. You have to be you. And love where you are in this journey. Let that journey go. Take the opportunity, even tonight, to be on a Zoom with people and be like, wow, like, so much fun tonight. I love being around women who empower people. Saying something like that, they don't need to know what it is, but they can know that you are in a tribe. There's this thing called FOMO. It's really true. It's the fear of missing out. Nobody wants to be missing out. And think about this when you're on Facebook and you see all your friends and they like went to the lake and you're like, I didn't get to go. Nobody invited me. That looks fun. And you kind of get that like, ooh, that's been fun. So people want to be included. They want to be part of a pact. And so they're going to watch if they see you surrounded about good things. They want that for themselves. Think about this with being authentic. Think about brands that you know. Apple, Amazon, Adidas, Nike. Do you think twice when you go to make a purchase about them? We trust them. We believe in them. They've marketed it the right way. So we know when we buy a product, we're going to get exactly what they said they were going to deliver. And if they didn't, they stand behind it and they make it right. So you want to have that same authentic thing. The fourth and most important, and then this should be number one, I need to change my list, is be social and responsive. Because what happens on social media is we stop being a friend, we stop being social, we don't respond. You want to respond to every comment that you can. It is time consuming, but it will pay off tenfold. I promise you. When you interact with your friends on social media, you will get the desired results that you're looking for, especially if you're bringing up different types of content. I see some people who get into a business. My friend just got into the Rodan and Fields, and I go to her page and it's like, hello, where's my friend? All I see is Rodan and Fields. Like, if that's what you want to do, get a business page, because you'll have much better success over there. Because what will happen, people are like, that's all she ever posts. That's all she ever posts. I don't want to see it. I'm over it. You know, so make sure that what you're doing is a smorgasbord of different things that you really like. It amplifies the reach of your market. You get broader gains, and it's the ROI, the return on your investment, you guys, is so much better when you can have those conversations. Again, I'm going to repeat this. If you have an opportunity, take the conversation offline. If you're going to share a website, get a cell phone number and be like, hey girl, I'm going to give you my cell. I'm going to text you that. People are not threatened by text, because then it doesn't put any links in social media where they can put a flag on your account. You know, sometimes they get a little cuckoo-y. So, and you want to connect with people on a consistent basis, not just right before they buy and right after they buy. You want to stay with them, because those are going to be your next distributors. Those are going to be the people that are following your journey that say, I loved it. She was so authentic and it was so organic and our relationship grew the entire time. So you want to do that. Number 5 is you want to give insights. This is where a lot of people fall short. Do you know where your market's heading? Do you know what the big game changer is going to be? Do you have like an insider trade secret that somebody else doesn't have? Do you feel like there's something that's going to disrupt your industry or something that's going on? Like you want to be that person. One thing that customers always expect out of marketers that they don't get is they want you to be the expert in all things, right? Even though we're not. None of us are the expert in all things. But when you can lend credibility from good sources, and here's the thing that I'm going to say, don't just share from another page. If you saw something like on ABC and you thought, oh, this is a good article, I'm just going to share. What happens then is people click that article, then they click that page, and they're no longer following you, they're following that page. So take information, put it out on your page and say, oh my gosh, did you guys just see what happened? Oh my gosh, this girl just was going to get arrested. She's going to go to jail. And her husband, used to design clothes for Target. His name is Massimo. And she's Aunt Becky. And I always thought she was this good person. And her daughters got to go to college for free. Like, this is crazy. Like, who has, I need all the deets. Like, let's talk about this. Let's sip on some tea. So what happens is we're talking about something that's big that's going on months ago. That's the only thing I can think of. But all of a sudden, I didn't just share a link and be like, oh, go look over here because there's good stuff over here. We brought it right here to my page, and let's talk about it. Now, I'd recommend not going with controversial things, but do you. If that's who you are, your business may suffer a little bit, but do you. But what happens then is when you can give that good content, it creates that loyalty to you, and that is important. And then again, go back to the other steps and constantly have those relationships. The last thing, you guys, is number 6. You want to generate good content and you want to distribute it. One thing that Noelle is good at, I know this, is she likes to send out like postcards to her customers. She likes to thank them. She likes to send a little welcome postcard that says, hey, this is who I am. This is what I do. Here's your distributor number. You can do that you could create one on your Word Swag and always just go in and type in their ID number with their stuff and send it in a little photo that they save in their camera roll and say, hey, here's your login information. Let me help you. Here's some great tools that you can go to. But anything that your customer can save or use or have that is such good content that they feel like they got to share, now you're winning their friends and their friends' friends because you're giving them something of value. So that's one thing that's great. And now if they've tried your product, which that's what we're working for, they're going to share that with everybody. So my final words are, the best prospects in this business are the ones that come looking for you because they've been watching you, not the ones that you're going to find. And it's so simple to do, you guys. I know I gave you a lot of information in the hour tonight, but really what I'm trying to tell you in a very summarized plan is be yourself, but don't forget to take it out to the world. Don't forget to take it to social media. Don't forget to share it with people. You are your own brand ambassador. You get to decide what the outcome looks like. Do you want to share a little bit? And here's the thing. You have an amazing leader at the helm, and if you're unsure of things to post, she's going to give you great ideas because she knows you so much better than I do. And she can kind of get that ball rolling a little bit to help you move in the direction that's going to fit you and your personality, your lifestyle. She's a mom. I'm not. I can't identify with that. But a day at the pool because you got wrap cash, or you got to buy groceries, or you probably did something with some of the income that you're going to earn, or you might have goals for the things that you need. You can't see it here, but Noelle is here. I have a dream board on my wall of all of the things I want in my life from small to big. Like, I even have pillows, specific pillows I want. People laugh at me when they come over sometimes because they're like, what is this? I have a yacht. I also have a Rolex. I also have a Mercedes-Benz. And those things are vacations and trips. And, some people look at it like, ooh, you want all those things. Yeah, I do. But when I'm looking at them, I'm constantly reminded what I'm looking for. And when I get a no, or I get a no thank you, or a slam door, or you've lost your mind, I look at that board and say, You're right, I have. It takes someone crazy like me to know that there's something bigger and better out there for all of us, that by taking just a few simple steps and following her lead, you can have it all. So that's all I got. Any questions?
Yes, we have a couple, and I'm only going to take a couple because I know we just have a couple of minutes, but Rachel, you're logged in under my account. So Rachel wants to know, how do you stay organized to do the follow-up? She's not green. She likes easy and simple.
So what I would recommend is for anyone who is on the Connect app. Noelle says this is a great, great tool. For me personally, I use an app that is called HubSpot. Excuse me. And I can use it on my computer and on my phone. And what HubSpot does, and you can get free versions of this, it limits the things that you can do, but it's a great starting place. There's like a little app on my phone, and you can go in, you can put the customer's information in there, you can phone call out of there and it logs it. You can put, it's like a virtual assistant. So let's say I had to follow up with Noelle because she needed to get whiteout, and I needed to mail it to her on Thursday. But I had a shipment coming in of whiteout. I don't know, it's on my desk. I could put a little note in there and it sends an email and text to me saying, send the, the whiteout to Noelle. I'm a calendar person, and I think it's really important that you find you. For me personally, I am a calendar person, and I have everything color-coded to what I need to do and where I need to be and what direction I'm going. And then from there, I also take notes here of everything that I have to do, and then I color-code it to that. So I do that, and I'm a spreadsheet whore. So anything that I can put into a spreadsheet is great. I believe that I walked Noelle through how to download her customer list, which you can do in It Works. And so you can save it into a CSV file and turn it into an Excel spreadsheet so you can have all of that information. So that's how I stay organized. Another thing that I have always done my whole entire life, and you can do this too, you can keep information on your phone. For a lot of you, you're always on your phone. So if you get a phone call from Noelle, if you go to Noelle's contact and in notes, you can make notes there. So anytime they call or anytime you see, you can put them on speaker, you can pull it up and you can say, wow, she has 3 kids. She's married to Dusty. Dusty travels a lot. Oh, she has a mom. Oh, her sister lives in Alaska. One's just gotten married. Oh yeah, how's your sister doing? Have you been to Alaska lately? How are your girls doing? Oh, well, one of them has this arthritis. Oh, which one? Well, Charlotte does. Okay, well, let me put this. Oh, well, as soon as I get off the phone, I try to keep notes in my phone because it's right there. So when I'm traveling or I'm out, any of that important information is there. And another great tool that I think is the best investment, I think it's $10 a year, is Evernote. You guys, it looks like an elephant, wherever this is. And in an Evernote, you can put photos in there. So if you see a good post, you can take the photo, put it in your phone. You can make notes. You can put different files in here, and they're shareable. So I love Evernote. It's something that I use all of the time, and I can actually dictate to it. Yep, Evernote right there. So Evernote is it's a paid app, but you can write that off. But I have some too, right here. Post to post on social media. I have these posts. So when I think of stuff and I'm creating content for each customer, then you can put them in separate notebooks. I have different things here for events that I have coming up, what I need. I have one for purses. I have one for every company that I have different snippets in here. And as I'm creating the content, I'm saving it there. So I'm not looking a lot of different places. And so Evernote is huge for me.
Yeah, and you guys, if you're not using Connect yet, you have to be connected to that app. Connect is the wave of the future for It Works. They rolled this out about 18 months ago, and you hear on every single corporate call that you need to update your Connect, that you need to learn how to use your Connect. It's not an option of if you need it to run your business. You're not going to be able to run your business if you don't know how to use your Connect app. So if you don't know how to use it, you have to get familiar with it. It's very, very simple, and you need to download it and you need to use it. And it had a lot of those same functions that Lannette was talking about with her virtual assistant. So you can actually schedule follow-ups in there. So if you sign up a customer, the day that you sign them up, go into there and schedule your follow-ups. So schedule one for a week out to make sure they got their products. Schedule one for 2 weeks out to make sure they're using their products. How are they liking them? Schedule one for 3 weeks out to remind them of their auto ship that's coming up. Schedule, just put that in there and make sure that because that's going to send you a push notification that's going to be your reminder to follow up with that person. You can also do the extensive and you can also do the extensive notes within the Connect app as well. You can also mass message in there, but it makes it personalized because, and as you go along with it, you're going to see how that works. But you can mass message your team, you can mass message your customers, your potentials, your retails, anybody who's interested in the hair, skin, and nails, anybody who's interested in the cleanse. Like, you can create all these lists, and then when there's a BOGO or a promo, you can just message everybody at one time, and it's very, very simple. So there's also scripts in the Connect app. You guys, there's scripts that are pre-made by the VIPs, and these are scripts that work, that have proven success rates, and you can actually use those same scripts to send out to your customers and your potentials. So it's definitely something that you want to take some time and learn how to use it, because the next time we have a promo, instead of trying to find all of your lists and all of the things that all the people that you may have let slip through the cracks, you could just go to your Connect app because you'll have it all in one place.
Well, and here's one thing too that I wanted to say too real quick, Noelle, and I know that we've been on an hour, so we're going to wrap this up, but you can talk to millions or you can talk to one, and you can use social media to shout, which is what most people do. It's like, shout my ear like laundry, or you can actually get personal and use it like you walked into a coffee shop and you knew everyone in the room, and you're just walking the room and just saying, oh my gosh, it's so good to see you. Thanks for coming. I really enjoy that you took time out of your day to notice me, and thank you for coming in to have coffee with me. I appreciate that. So do you want it to shout? And then here's one thing that I want to add in thinking back to what I was telling you guys about social media and when to post. Your posts are good for 90 minutes. It's a 90-minute window, and then it kind of runs its life. Okay, unless there's a ton of interaction. So think about that when you're getting ready to post. Do you post when it's convenient for you? Or do you sit down for 30 minutes one day and create a few pictures and a few words and store it someplace in your phone, and then make sure that you set an alarm? I set alarms for every one of my businesses. My alarms go off all day. So it's like, oh, got to post for this company, got to post for this company. The great thing is on Mondays, I create content. So all I have to do is go grab it and post it. So I don't have to sit there and go, I got nothing. I'm not going to post. It's already ready.
That's so good. I love it. Well, if you guys learned anything tonight or found any value in this Zoom, please go to Lannette's page. She's public. So go find her on Facebook and show her some love. You guys, I learned so much, Lannette, and I know that everybody, if they didn't take notes, they're going to watch this replay back, and they're going to take notes and start to implement. So this was so good. Thank you so much for taking your time to sit with us tonight.
Thanks for having me. I hope you guys learned something, and y'all are amazing. And Noelle, you've got an amazing team, so it was an honor. Thank you so much.
They are. I love my team. We have a bunch of rock stars, and I know that they're going to take the information that you gave them, and they're going to start implementing it, and it's going to be amazing. So thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight, and we'll see you next week. Bye, guys.
Bye, Noelle.